Hello, my name is Austin Nakamura, and uh, my PIP was writing a novel. So my essential question for this was, how can I incorporate all of the core subjects, English, history, math, and science, into a form of creative writing? My reasoning behind this is I'm someone who enjoys writing creatively, and I wanted to see how I could do this. So my essential beginning was a bit shaky because I wanted to try and do two things at once, so that didn't completely work out, but I decided to go with the novel because November was National Novel Writing Month, and I thought it would, or Miss Davis suggested that it would be better for me to write during that time because much more resources are offered, people will give you more feedback, and it's just more representative, I suppose. So how I started out was I took a story that I had written before, which was one that's based in more medieval times, kind of bordering between the age where they're transferring from knights and everything into guns, basically the transition era into the gunpowder age. So after having that down, I decided to start creating my characters, and how I did this was I found a character questionnaire online, which was given to me by the NaNoWriMo source, and so I filled it out, and I have 3 filled out here. I actually have another one, although his character hasn't been introduced yet, so I decided it wouldn't be ideal. So I have my main character, who is Kane, and much of the descriptions on him. As of right now, I do not have a picture, but that will go about right there. Alessandra, the girl who is introduced with him in the beginning, I'll also have a picture with her. And then I also have Scarlet up here, and that is Kane's sister. So after that, I have a very weird process where I dive right into writing. It's not very customary, I suppose, but it is something that works for me personally. So after writing for a long time, about 11,000 words or so, and I'm still adding on, I decided to give people a plot arc for a visual representation of what was going through my head. How I wanted to express math and science in this, because the history and English subjects were already covered by the historical matter and the writing, was that I was suggested to, and I was going to introduce a scientist character, one who had to explain things to people, or someone who was an inventor who had all these concepts inside of his head that people hadn't thought of yet. His name would have been Takeshi, and he is from a country in the land called the East, and how I decided to divide up the lands, which was one I thought was just a way to just condense everything, was you have it in the 4 cardinal directions in an area called the center. So how I kind of thought about it in my head is the north is places like England, Norway, and all the kind of northern European countries. The center is the Central European countries, and the south is all the southern countries, Africa, Australia, just those kind of southern areas, Africa and Australia mostly. And then the east side, I would make the Oriental, so the Chinese, the Japanese, and other things. And the west would be America, and I was going to have the background in it as a fairly newly discovered country. Or fairly newly founded, not discovered. So Takeshi is someone who is from the East, and he is going to be the inventor, the kind of mastermind behind everything. He's really smart and quick-witted, but he doesn't know how to explain anything or gather people together, get his ideas together. So Kane is a friend with him, and he kind of helps him with it. He's not quite as brilliant as Takeshi or closely as intellectual, but he tries to help and understand as much as possible. Kane, my character, his parents are from the north and the east, so he's kind of a Papa Howley kid. Alessandra, her parents are from the center and the north. Scarlet is the same, although she looks more northern than eastern. And that's kind of how I wanted to break it down. So it'd be Takeshi's role, or as they refer to him, is Kami, which is God, because that's his nickname. Is he's very obsessed with inventing, and he's always trying to find new ways to do things better. So if someone has a crossbow, then I was thinking of making him the inventor of the repeating crossbow, which works much like a gun clip that we have today, except you pull it back and it loads another bolt in automatically, which was actually invented by the Chinese for quick firing and things like that. But then also different things like possibly the first experiments with electricity, because I'm thinking of making the ages progress much faster in this. Experiments with gunpowder, chemistry, physics, just different things that he does to try and improve different aspects that they can. Oh, if you change something in this catapult, then it can launch this rock so much further, or different things like that. And so that's how I wanted to explain the math and science, because I thought it would be a really creative and fun way to do it, and it'll also kind of force me to research into, okay, what was the history behind this? I thought I did pretty well overall. There is still a lot more that I want to add on to this. It is nowhere near finished. I'm not even halfway done with my first draft, for that matter of fact. I'd put myself maybe a tenth of the way done. So, yeah, I think I have much to improve on, much to add, much I haven't even thought of yet, and if you wish to read it, I'll have my story about there. Yeah. Thank you for your time.